as well. All right. So very two
Take a higher
important goals for your business comes out to be profit earning and satisfaction of the consumer and various other stakeholders. So when we talk about business, so business has a lot of business organizations. किस तरीके से आप business कर सकते हैं उसके ढेर सारे organizational types हो सकते हैं. So one can be not for profit and the other can be for profit organizations, right? I think all of you must have must know that there are four main types of business organizations. There is sole proprietorship, then you have partnership, then you have company, then you have NPO, you have HUF as well as cooperative, but those are not as famous as these ones. So sole proprietorship, I think you all know, one person doing all the things and generally used for small types of businesses. The liability is limited. The liability is unlimited. All right. Yeah, just a moment.
Recording in progress.
The next is partnership. Partnership where two or more than two people come and they join hands and do a business together. And a good form of partnership, a different type of partnership is a limited liability partnership, wherein the partnership firm does not have unlimited liability, but they have a limited liability. And the next one is your company form of organization, public and private company. And a new addition has been made in 2013, which is one-person company, which gives you the benefit of sole proprietorship together with company, that is limited liability, with sole proprietorship, that is a one-person company. And the last one is your NPOs, not for profit organization. कोई भी social service का काम करना होता है, you want to start up a small, area for dogs to take care of dogs, or an old age home, or say an orphanage. All these things happen in NPO form of organization. Okay, so there is another poll. Let me just get you to that poll. Alright, so this was the poll for the last one, wherein the students gave almost the correct answers in the last poll. Now let's move on to the next one. Okay, so I'm launching the poll again. Alright, so kindly start answering the questions. I hope you are able to see the questions.
Rakesh started a garment shop New Year back due to continuous losses hit site.
Are you all able to see the poll, guys?
However, he was 2 lakh to Ankit from whom
All right,
he
then start
has
answering.
purchased
Very easy,
garments.
very
The
basic,
business
nothing out of ordinary.
फंड्स द बिजनेस फंड्स राकेश है जिसने गारमेंट्स की शॉप्स खोली फ्यू इयर्स बैक बट ड्यू टू कंटिन्यूस लॉसेस ही डिसाइड स्टेटस उसने बंद किया और 2 lakh अंकित whom he has purchased garments the business funds are sole proprietorship.
Again, there are 149 students, and I am seeing slowly and steadily only 20 students or so have answered. Kindly, quickly take a minute.
Southwest as a
Take a
college
minute and answer
graduation
the questions in the poll, and I'll then share the results with all of you.
Southwest as a college graduation gift. He owes rupees 2 lakh Aniket from whom he has purchased garment. Dogs give us several hundred.
All right, let me share the results with all of you. So I'll be ending the poll now. Last 6 minutes for anybody who wants to write the answers. They are just 2 questions. Okay, all right. I am ending the poll and I am sharing the result with all of you. I hope you can see the results. So the first question said that Ragesh started a garment shop few years back. Due to continuous losses, he decided to shut the business. However, he owes rupees 2 lakhs to Aniket, from whom he has purchased the garments. The business funds are not sufficient to repay the debt. In such a business, what is the best kind of business organization that you should go for, right? So the answer that a lot of students, approximately 62% of students has written is sole proprietorship, and the rest, only 20% have written one person company, and 20% have given the answer to partnership form. So let me just tell you what is the correct answer. So the correct answer should be a one person company. See, in a sole proprietorship, उस ओनर को जितना भी पैसा डेट में है वो पैसा वापस करना पड़ता है, चाहे वो अपनी पर्सनल पैसे से वो डेट वापस करे. सो सोल प्रोप्राइटरशिप में जो लाइबिलिटी होती है दैट इज अनलिमिटेड. So hence this unlimited liability makes it a disadvantage for sole proprietorship. But similarly, अगर one person company देखा जाए, कंपनी है तो लिमिटेड लाइबिलिटी है, एंड सोल प्रोप्राइटरशिप की तरह देयर इज ओनली वन पर्सन हैंडलिंग द बिजनेस. सो अ गुड वन पर्सन कंपनी अगर यहाँ पे फॉर्म होती और इन इवेंट ऑफ क्लोजिंग डाउन ऑफ द बिजनेस, तो फिर उसको ये जो 2 लाख रुपए का डेट है ये उसे पे नहीं करना पड़ता, बिकॉज ऑफ इफ उसके पास वो इनफ पैसा नहीं था, उसे वो 2 लाख रुपए अपने पर्सनल सेविंग से नहीं पे करना पड़ता, बिकॉज one person company had limited liability. So the correct answer is one person company. Correct, liability is limited. So that is a better form of organization to go for. Alright, let's move on to the next question. So it has to be Doug. Doug grew up on a large farm in South Wisconsin as a college graduation gift. Doug's father gave him several hundred acres of land to raise organic soybean, grain, corn. Doug works the field himself and negotiates deals with the buyers, repairs equipments. Repairs equipments, negotiate deals and repairs equipment, which is the best form of organization for Doug. So what do you think shall be the best form of organization for Doug in this case? So the answer that has been given by the students according to the poll, I think is okay. So the result is okay. So most of the students have said a sole proprietor. Then there is partnership firm. Then there is NPO and company also. Okay. So what do you think Doug should do? Is it all right for him to be a sole proprietor? Yes, everybody. So see, as we already told that in case of sole proprietorship, your liability is unlimited. So अगर आपको एक person business करना है, so it is better that you go for a one person company. अब अगर for example one person नहीं है और डग है और डग के father ने उसे as a gift दिया है, you can also go for a partnership. Correct. So sole proprietorship is not the correct form. So either you can go with partnership. The partnership can be a limited liability partnership, or you can go for a company that is a one-person company. So I hope now you have an idea that whenever we are choosing anything for business, probably if you grow up and you want to be an entrepreneur, you will have a better idea of what kind of business organization you should go for. A normal partnership also has an unlimited liability. Alright, that is why we go for a limited liability partnership. Similarly, for a company, if you want to start, one person wants to start a company, so a one-person company is a better way rather than a sole proprietorship. I hope I'm making myself clear. Alright, moving on to our presentation. Alright. So we did business organization forms, types of business organizations. Then we did functions. What is a business? Okay. Now the next thing that we are going to do is key stakeholders. I hope all of you understand what are the stakeholders of a company. कोई भी person, any person who is affected by the activities that are happening in a business, or if anybody has an interest in that business, तो किसी को जिसको भी फर्क पड़ेगा, that person is called as a stakeholder. Internal भी हो सकते हैं, external भी हो सकते हैं. Internal stakeholders like your clients, shareholders, the management and the employees, जिनको directly फर्क पड़ता है. Internal जो कंपनी के अंदर है, ठीक है. External मतलब जो कंपनी से बाहर है, जैसे कि suppliers, customers, society, environment, community, government, tax authority, customers, competitors. These are your external stakeholders. Now, just to understand what is the importance of stakeholder in the business, we have a case study. All right. I hope everybody knows what is PETA. Do you know what is the full form of PETA? You can put it in the chat or you can unmute also if you have any idea. What is the full form for PETA? No idea. Okay. Alright. So PETA is People Society for Ethical Treatment of Animals. It is a society who actually wants to reduce the cruelty against animals. Animals के against जितनी भी cruelty होती है, उनके against, हाँ, correct. हाँ, सो पेटा इज कोई भी अगर एनिमल्स के अगेंस्ट क्रुएल्टी करता है तो उनके अगेंस्ट वो आवाज उठाती है. सो पेटा इज अ कम्युनिटी ऑफ पीपल. So now Johnson and Johnson क्या है? Johnson and Johnson is a company we all know about. It is a pharmaceutical company, not only for baby products. Actually, it is a pharma company. ठीक है? Now Johnson and Johnson and many other surgical, medical and pharmaceutical companies क्या करती हैं? वो लोग animals के ऊपर testing करते हैं. Not only that, but cosmetic industries में भी animals के ऊपर testing होती है of their products. I hope all of you know about this. Now, because of those testings, animals के ऊपर बहुत ज़्यादा cruelty की जाती है, and even a lot of them die because of those testings that are done. गवर्नमेंट ने थोड़ी सी रेगुलेशंस लगा रखी हैं एंड दे हैव अलाउड द कंपनीज कि आप कुछ हद तक एनिमल्स पे टेस्टिंग कर सकते हैं, और उन्होंने ये फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी कंपनी को दी हुई है कि वो कौन से टेस्ट करेंगे और कौन से नहीं करेंगे. नाउ जॉनसन एंड जॉनसन इज अ कंपनी जो कि एनिमल्स को यूज करती है अपने सेल्स रिप्रेजेंटेटिव को ट्रेन करने के लिए, टू ट्रेन देम इन द यूज ऑफ सर्जिकल प्रोडक्ट्स एंड टेस्टिंग, कि वो लोग ढंग से इंसानों पर ये चीजें कर सके, टेस्ट कर सके. तो पहले टेस्टिंग किस पे होती है? एनिमल्स पर. और ये जॉनसन एंड जॉनसन अपने सेल्स रिप्रेजेंटेटिव को ट्रेन करने के लिए एनिमल्स को यूज करता है. और वो इतना ज्यादा हो रहा था दैट पेटा रेज्ड इट्स वॉइस अगेंस्ट जॉनसन एंड जॉनसन and told them कि you need to use non-animal methods to train your representatives. There are so many things. आजकल simulations आ गई हैं. There are so many things, artificial intelligence, and you can do a lot, right? Then why do you want to use animals for testing? And when PETA raised the voice, तो जब भी ऐसे कोई community raise voice करती है against any other company, so there is a worldwide awareness. और उस वजह से उस कंपनी की, चाहे बाकी सारी कंपनीज वो काम कर रही हैं, बट द कंपनी इन द लाइमलाइट, उसकी जो गुडविल है फॉर दैट टाइम वो कम हो जाती है. एंड हेंस जॉनसन एंड जॉनसन स्टार्टेड ट्वीकिंग देयर टेस्ट्स, जिनमें उन्होंने कुछ बहुत ही क्रूअल टेस्ट्स थे जो एनिमल पे, वो एनिमल्स पर करना बंद कर दिया. ठीक है? सो दिस इज द पावर ऑफ स्टेक होल्डर. पेटा is a stakeholder. It is a society that wants betterment of the animals, and this stakeholder can do such a big impact on the Johnson and Johnson big company. No, Priyanka, it is not about medicines on animals. It is testing on animals, not only medicine testing, but for example, अगर आपको कोई procedure करवाना है, so the procedure is done first tested on the animal and then it is done for the humans. And even for medicine, जब भी medicines की होती है, so the closest to humans is monkeys, rabbits, उन पे सबसे ज़्यादा किया जाता है. So they take the closest to the human anatomy. Alright, so we have a small video. Kindly let me know if you are able to hear.
Ready? We rolling? Okay, Ralph, can you mark it, please?
Do you want me to click it now?
Yep, go for
Is
it.
it audible?
Go on.
Like that?
Brilliant.
Oh, just like in the movies. Alrighty, so my name's Ralph. I'm a rabbit, as you can see. I'm blind in my right eye, and this ear. Can't hear nothing but ringing now. Yeah, it's annoying, isn't it?
फोन ढूंढ रही हूँ.
अरे मैं देख रहा हूँ, कर रहा हूँ, काम ही कर रहा हूँ मैं अपना, काम ही कर रहा हूँ, दे रहा हूँ तुझे.
करना.
Well, I had my fur shaved and got chemical burns up and down my back. Kind of stings, eh?
क्या चाहते हो, मतलब ये बताओ.
But it's not a big deal. It only really hurts when I like breathe or move around or whatever. Ah, yeah. Ow. Yeah, that hurts.
अरे जाओ, बस हो जाएगा.
But at the end of the day, I mean, it's okay. We do it for the humans, right? They're far superior to us animals. They've even been to space. Have you ever seen a rabbit in a rocket ship? I don't think so. Like I will. It's okay. Testing is what we were born to do. It makes us rabbits happy. Yeah. Oh, gotta get to work. Now I know it looks bad, but the way I see it, I'm doing my job. If just one human can have the illusion of a safer lipstick or deodorant or...
Hey, Ralphie. Psst. Ralphie. What's with the camera crew, bro?
Oh, they just follow me around, making a documentary or something.
Can you ask them to get us out of here?
Yeah, what will we see?
Come on, Ralphie, just ask them to get us out of here. I don't want to die, man.
Okay,
Ralphie!
Okay, I hear you. You can edit that out, right? Oh, here we go.
Hey, don't touch it!
Shit. So in closing, I'd just like to say that...
Sorry, Ralph. We're over here. Can you turn around?
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Is this better?
Yeah. Carry on, mate.
Okay, so, yeah. I'd just like to say to everyone out there still buying animal-tested cosmetics like eyeliner, shampoo, sunscreen, pretty much everything in your bathroom. Well, without you and countries that allow animal testing, I'd be out of a job. I'd be on the streets. Well, not the streets, more like a field, I guess. You know, like a normal rabbit. But hey. It's all good.
So I hope you understand what I was talking about PETA and about how it goes against people that are harming animals. PETA has a lot of times raised their voice against the companies using fur, animal fur, real fur on clothes. Dior is a very big example of that. Yeah. So let's move on to the second case study, which tells you the importance of stakeholder in a business. I hope you all are aware of Volkswagen, German car company. Yeah, correct. Now, Volkswagen ने क्या किया? Volkswagen की a very famous car is Polo, right? When they started making Polo, now what happened was there is a testing done on the emission that a car is doing. So nitrogen oxide emissions are checked if they are as per the limit that has been established according to the environmental for the environment, right? Yes. So now जब ये टेस्ट हो रहा था तो Volkswagen ने कुछ ट्वीक किया such that उनकी जो emission limit थी वो below the normal range आ गई. So now it got a get go कि ठीक है आप पोलो को मार्केट में बेच सकते हैं. You can start selling it in the market. Now when they started selling in the market, it was observed after selling for a number of like 2 to 3 years, it was observed that the amount of emission of nitrogen oxide that the Volkswagen car is doing is 35 times more than what it was doing in the test. So test was tweaked and the actual emission level was 35 times more than the normal range. And it was endangering the people, it was endangering the environment, and hence the United States Environmental Protection Agency issued a notice of violation to the Volkswagen, which is also known as Volkswagen Dieselgate scandal. So, I mean, if you are aware about this, that happened, and after that, Volkswagen ki jo brand image thi, it started going down. One of the biggest car companies did something that is not only dangerous for the environment, but it is dangerous for the people as well. So USA as well as European Union ने penalties लगाई Volkswagen के ऊपर बहुत ज़्यादा. And as you can see, there was quite a dip in the sales of Volkswagen during those periods. So see what an environment agency can do for a company. उसने उस stakeholder के against, मतलब it did not think about that stakeholder environment and how it came to bite back. Alright, and the last one, ये तो अभी recently है, recent case study है for Vodafone tax case. किसी को idea है? What was this tax case? Okay, let me just tell you. So, Vodafone came into India by buying Hutchison. Everybody knows Hutch, जिसको हम Hutch बुलाते थे. Vodafone bought Hutch and came into India, right? Now the Indian government says कि आपने Hutchison India Limited को buy किया और वो जो सारा gain हुआ Hutchison को, because you paid a lot of money, उस gain पे कोई tax नहीं pay किया गया है. So the Indian government said कि you have to pay tax on the deal that you made in 2007 while you bought Hutchison India Limited. Now Vodafone says that वो जो हमने deal की थी, the deal was made by Hutchison SR, that is the global brand, and it was made by Vodafone, which is another foreign brand, right? And the deal was also made offshore. So how is it taxable in India? But the government and the tax agency were very rigid on no, you have to pay tax, and they announced a huge tax liability for Vodafone. Now recently only the arbitration happened and tribunal ने unanimously rule किया in favor of Vodafone, saying that the dealing happened outside India among two foreign companies and hence they are not to be taxed. And also what they did, the government has to reimburse Vodafone 60% legal cost and half of the 6,000 euro cost that they had borne in European Union for appointment of an arbitrator. So you see, यहाँ पे क्या था? यहाँ पे हमारा stakeholder था government, the tax authority, जिन्होंने company के alleged एक misdirection को पकड़ लिया, misconduct को पकड़ लिया, and then they told them to pay back. Though obviously Vodafone won in the end, but still, along these years, जिस time पे ये case चल रहा था, Vodafone in recent years has seen a lot of downfall as well. So this is what stakeholders can do to a company. So I hope the importance of stakeholders is quite clear to all of you. Great. The next topic that we will discuss is customer segmentation. So, आप सबने customer segmentation already पढ़ रखा है. And what does customer segmentation do? Customer segmentation divides customer on the basis of certain characteristics. So that if एक group को जिनके same characteristics है, उनके लिए एक product बना दिया जाए, दूसरा जो ग्रुप है जिनके थोड़े अलग कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है उनके लिए एक और प्रोडक्ट बना दिया जाए. सो दिस मेक्स द प्रोडक्ट एंड सर्विस प्रोडक्शन इजी, डिजाइनिंग इजी. नाउ देयर आर 4 types of segmentations, mainly demographic, psychographic, geographic and behavioral. Demographic is on the basis of age, on the basis of gender, on the basis of income. Psychographic is on the basis of interest, hobbies, and life goals, values, geographic on the basis of obviously location, स्टेट में किस स्टेट में कंट्री ग्लोबली लोकेशन के हिसाब से सेगमेंटेशन एंड लास्ट इज बिहेवियरल व्हाट इज द बिहेवियर ऑफ अ कंज्यूमर वो कितना खर्चा करते हैं मंथ में कितनी बार बाय करते हैं और कितनी जल्दी रीबाय करते हैं कितना उनका कस्टमर लॉयल है एक पर्टिकुलर ब्रांड के लिए ऑल दीज आर बिहेवियरल थिंग्स एंड वो भी हम सेगमेंट करते हैं अलग से सो नाउ थ्योरी तो मतलब डेमोग्राफिक है साइकोग्राफिक है जियोग्राफिक है बिहेवियरल है ये तो सबको याद ही है बट हाउ अबाउट वी talk about this from the perspective of a very famous and a well-known brand that all of you will relate to, I hope, to some extent, which is Puma. I hope everybody knows Puma. Yes? Who are the competitors of Puma? Nike and Adi and Reebok, correct. Decathlon, all right, yes. So let's just see this video. This video is a bit CK, all right. इन सब के बारे में हम मतलब we will see what are actually the competitors of Puma when it comes to it. But as of now, kindly bear with the video. The video is a bit long, but it is very, very informative in terms of customer segmentation. All right. So kindly look through it. Let me know if you are able to hear what I am showing.
Hi everybody. As the pandemic got over, the business war in the Indian sports industry is heating up very, very quickly. And the legends at war are the likes of Nike, Puma and Adidas. But what's more fascinating is that, in spite of Nike and Adidas being global leaders in the industry, in India, the rise of Puma has been nothing short of extraordinary. In 2006, while Puma was the last to enter the Indian market and began with a modest revenue of just 22 crores, during the same time, Nike was at 99 crores, Adidas was at 186 crores and Reebok was a giant with 354 crores in revenue. But you know what guys? Fast forward to 2020, in the next 13 years, the big cat has raced way ahead of his giant competitors. As of 2020, while Reebok was at 407 crores, Adidas was at 1250 crores, Nike was at 831 crores, whereas Puma was at an insane mark of 1413 crores in revenue. And not just that, Puma has also been consistently profitable over the years in India. So the question is, how did Puma beat the likes of Nike, Adidas and Reebok? What was their strategy to become a market leader in spite of the late entry? And what are the lessons that we need to learn from Puma's strategy in India? This video is brought to you by Geeks for Geeks, but more on this at the end of the video. This is a story that dates back to 2006 when Puma entered the Indian market. During that time, both Nike and Adidas had been very aggressive with their marketing campaigns. While Adidas had Sachin Tendulkar as its brand ambassador, Nike was the official kit sponsor of the Indian cricket team. And in the next 5 years, Puma struggled to capture the Indian sports market. But the reason for this was not because Nike and Adidas were dominating, but because the Indian sportswear industry itself was too small, too complex and too price sensitive. In fact, even after sponsoring the Indian cricket team, Nike's revenue had shot up by almost 100% to 186 crores between 2006 to 2010. And yet, they were not at all profitable. But you know what guys? Surprisingly, there was one brand that was killing it in the market and was miles ahead of both Nike and Adidas with a revenue of 783 crores in 2010. And this brand was none other than Reebok. The question is, how is it possible that in spite of being associated with the cricketing fever, in spite of sponsoring Sachin Tendulkar, Nike and Adidas were struggling, but Reebok was killing it in the market? Well, that was because Reebok very intelligently positioned itself not as a performance brand, but as a fashion brand in the Indian market. More specifically, Reebok put all of its focus into selling shoes because footwear brought in a large majority of its sales revenue. And I don't know how many of you remember this, but a classic example of Reebok's style statement was the Reebok ZigTech commercial. Now, I did not buy the Reebok ZigTech shoe, and I'm sure that most of us didn't either. But even today, I very clearly remember the bright colors and the quirky yet insanely cool look of the Reebok ZigTech shoes. And instead of being associated with Sachin, they picked youth icons like Dhoni and Yuvraj to promote their brand. And even in those commercials, Reebok was not presented as the key to their performance, but the key to their style statement, which positioned the Reebok brand as a culmination of both sports and fashion in the industry. Now the question is, what is the advantage of being a fashion brand and not just a sports brand? Well, there are three advantages. Number one, when you buy shoes for sports in India, most of us buy only one shoe and use it for all sports. And we do that for two reasons. Number one, we do not play many sports. And number two, we do not play sports as seriously as the Americans. For example, when you play cricket, it's mostly gully cricket, for which most of us wear slippers and sandals. And even if we play the sport seriously, like if you play football every day, you cannot wear studs all the time because we do not have as many turfs to play. So you have to stick to the same jogging shoes. But when it comes to buying casual sneakers, it is a style statement, and many of us want multiple shoes for multiple attires that we wear. The best part is that even if you have a Hush Puppy sneaker, you could still buy a Puma sneaker. So the space for sneakers in the life of a person was way more as compared to the sports shoes. Secondly, because the utility value of the shoe is so generic, hardly any of us focus on the intricacies of their functionality. For example, jogging shoes have a different padding as compared to tennis shoes because the movement of the player is completely different. But again, we do not pay attention because playing tennis is a rare occasion. So again, we go for a Sasta Tikau jogging shoe, or in English, an affordable long-lasting shoe is all that we care about. Therefore, the allocation of cost for sports shoes is very, very less. But at the same time, if you look at casual shoes, by default, casual shoes are cheap because they're almost a commodity with very less functionality and only aesthetics. So in 1,000 rupees, you will get a terrible sports shoe, but an amazing casual sneaker. Therefore, the entry barrier for a casual sneaker is way less. And lastly, back in 2010, while you had Adidas and Nike fighting in the sports segment, we had very few shoe specialist brands in the fashion segment. For example, we had Nike and Adidas for sports, but for fashion, we had Levi's, the jean specialist, United Colors of Benetton, that is almost an exotic brand in India, and then we had Fila and Lee Cooper, which had very less to none celebrity endorsements. Now, over here, if you place a brand like Reebok, it by default becomes the most recognizable and the most stylish brand in the category. This was one of the primary reasons why Reebok became a success in India. But, this is what happened to Reebok when the brand was at its peak in India.
Do you smell an accounting fraud in this Reebok alleged fraud case? The country's accounting regulator, ICAI, or the Institute of Chartered Accountants, has sprung into action to explore possible violations by CA professionals.
Reebok India has alleged a rupees 8,700 crore fraud, second biggest corporate scandal after Satyam.
Adidas and Reebok has already shut about 600 stores across the country, and 40,000 jobs are really at stake here.
Long story short, after the scandal broke out, Reebok was in shatters and Adidas's merger strategy never really paid off. But guess what? This is where Puma became an opportunist, and it almost walked the same footsteps as Reebok to be positioned as a fashion brand in India. And even today, it is still doing the same to remain a market leader in India. And they did not do this right away, but took gradual steps to carefully expand their presence according to the price sensitivity of the Indians. And here's how they did it. First of all, Puma steadily built its network of 340 stores across 115 cities without ever opening multiple stores in the same location. On top of that, out of the 340 stores, 320 stores were operated under a franchise model. This eventually prevented over-distribution, because of which Puma reported a 13% same-store sales growth in 2014 as compared to 2013. In addition to maintaining tight control over its distribution network, Puma adopted a clever vendor engagement. For example, when Reebok closed 300 of its 900 stores, retailers were completely handicapped with a huge lacuna in the market. But Puma leveraged this opportunity to gradually grow its partnership with vendors like Rishabh Sports Nation, who was Reebok's biggest vendor. And slowly, Puma started filling into the gap that was left by Reebok, both in the B2B and the B2C space. Secondly, Puma carefully developed its products after identifying the needs of the customers. For example, they launched flip-flops and sandals exclusively for the Indian market that provided the consumers with very less entry barrier. And then it slowly induced brand loyalty because of both marketing and the quality of the products. And even today, if you go to Myntra, you will see that Puma starts at a price point of 1,100 rupees, Adidas starts at a price point of 1,600 rupees, and Nike starts way ahead at a price point of 2,000 rupees. And lastly, they started laying the foundation as a lifestyle brand by hiring fashion ambassadors like Jacqueline Fernandez, Lisa Hayden, and Chitrangada Singh. And Puma gradually built its image as a fashion inspirational brand with dynamic designs and stylish products. To take it one level forward, Puma even invested in a food, drinks and entertainment venue called the Puma Social Club. This club was located in the poshest area of Bangalore, and within no time, it was a big hit among the local millennials. In addition to that, Puma even put together a compilation of music and concert series under a campaign called Puma Loves Vinyl campaign to connect with the consumers at a personal level. And while Nike was pouring in hundreds of crores into sponsoring the Indian cricket team, Puma started hiring celebrities like Jacqueline Fernandez to endorse its products. In fact, this is the reason why Puma so heavily invested into the Gully Boy wave by launching a video with Divine that got 5.7 million views on YouTube. And eventually, all of these factors strengthened Puma's position as an iconic fashion brand for the Indian youth. Apart from that, they even roped in Bani J and Disha Patni to appeal to the women segment of the audience. And cherry on the cake was Virat Kohli, who was and still is the perfect youth icon for Puma, just like Yuvraj and Dhoni were for Reebok. And this contract sealed the position of Puma as a culmination of fashion and sports in India. And now, it's been taken ahead by the likes of KL Rahul and Sara Ali Khan. This is how Puma strategically positioned itself over the blueprint of Reebok, and when backed with strategic expansion and customer-centric product placement like flip-flop, it gave Puma the perfect market recipe to become a market leader in India. This is the reason why, while Reebok's revenue declined from 616.9 crores to 324.2 crores, Puma India's revenue started growing with an unprecedented pace, going from just 523.4 crores in 2011 to 766.7 crores in 2013 and rose to 1,413 crores in 2019. And at the same time, Nike and Adidas are still struggling in India. But what's interesting to note is that even Adidas has started presenting itself as a fashion brand by roping in Deepika and Ranveer as its ambassadors. So keep an eye on what Adidas does to challenge the position of Puma in India. And this brings me to the most important part of the episode, and that is, considering the rise of Puma as a market leader in India, what are the lessons that we need to learn from Puma? Before we move on, I would have
Alright, so I hope you understand what the video told. So the video very easily and in very easy words made us understand that how important segmentation is. Like Puma did not go actually for sports as a sports brand, but went for a lifestyle brand, having designer shoes, having sandals and flip-flops, seeing the interests of the students, right? Similarly, it started at a lower price point, which obviously us Indians really want, a good value for money. Yeah, it was actually really amazing. That shows us that demographic price point को choose किया segmentation में, then psychographic में interests वगैरह देखे Indians के कि चप्पल पहनते हैं, sandals पहनते हैं, and जो females को women empowerment का भी एक उन्होंने focus किया by roping in Bani J. So all these things, and then taking in Virat Kohli and also going towards the sports part of the shoot. So a lot of things were being done, and a lot of customer segments and types of segmentation like demographic and psychographic were actually accomplished by Puma. Alright, okay, I would like to give you one information that while I am telling all this information to you, there is a small evaluation at the end of this session, which has I think 6 to 7 questions, which all of you are supposed to do, is a part of a small evaluation. Alright, so I hope we understood how we segment the customers. Okay, now let's move on to understanding the customer need. So every business how we need to understand the psychology of the customers. Correct. And now we are going to understand the customer needs, and we will have many more case studies to discuss on. So let's move on with understanding the customer's needs. So हर बिजनेस को, एवरी बिजनेस नीड्स टू अंडरस्टैंड किस कस्टमर को केटर करना है और किस हिसाब से किस सेगमेंट को केटर करना है. आफ्टर अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट सेगमेंट कि ओके आई एम गोइंग टू केटर द यूथ according to the age demographic segmentation करके I want to cater the youth. अब ना उन youth की क्या needs है, we need to understand the needs of those segment. Here is where understanding the customer needs comes in. Alright, a business will be able to provide a better product to a customer if it has seen what the customer needs. अगर कोई चीज नहीं चाहिए और वैसा प्रोडक्ट आप बाहर निकाल रहे हो मार्केट में, it will be a failure. But if you are able to understand the needs and catering to the needs, you are getting out a product in the market, then it will be a success. So the four main customer needs जो हर एक customer ढूंढता है किसी product में, so those needs are, first is the price, second is quality, third is choice, and the fourth one is convenience. ठीक है, एक एक एग्जाम्पल ले रहे हैं. जैसे प्राइस का a very big and recent example is Netflix. I think all of you Netflix, right? What is the recent news about Netflix? क्या हुआ है अभी recently? बता सकता है कोई मुझे? Something that happened quite recently, price drop. Price drop. मतलब yes, Netflix ने अपने prices को drop कर दिया है. Why? That is understanding of a customer need after not being as successful as they wanted to be. So you can see the price drops from the mobile plan जो पहले 199 का था वो 149 हो गया है. जो basic plan जो mainly हम लोग use करते थे 499 per month से 199 हो गया, which is a huge drop because this is the plan जो सब लोग majority लोग यही plan में invest करते हैं. Next standard plan 649 से 499 and premium plan dropped from 799 to 649. ठीक है? Now, why did Netflix do this? Netflix dropped the prices because they were not able to handle the Indian market. Correct, very correct. Once, as you have written, Netflix CEO actually said, the people said, we are stumped by the Indian market. Indians want everything for free. And hence, they could see that Netflix is now not doing as well as the other competitors like Disney Hotstar or Amazon Prime. Correct. So Netflix के total जो subscribers थे वो थे 4.3 to 4.5 million, whereas Disney Hotstar had 36 million and Amazon Prime के 17 million. मतलब out of the three main, and there are others, Sony Live and whatever. ठीक है? अब इन तीनों main में से Netflix has the least subscribers. जबकि यूएस वगैरह में देखो नेटफ्लिक्स इज एवरी ह्यूज मार्केट, सबसे ज्यादा मार्केट है नेटफ्लिक्स का. नाउ व्हाट वर द इश्यूज दैट नेटफ्लिक्स वाज नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड इन द कस्टमर इन द इंडियन मार्केट? फर्स्ट, इंडियंस 70% of the Indians are middle class. All right, they would not want to pay such a hefty amount for a month. तो उनका ये जो प्लान था 499 का, इवन फॉर दैट इफ यू रिमेम्बर स्टार्टिंग में हम एक खरीद के 4 लोगों को उसका पासवर्ड दे देते थे फॉर डिफरेंट लाइक स्क्रीन्स. करेक्ट. सो जब हम बात करते हैं नेटफ्लिक्स की, नेटफ्लिक्स ने सबसे पहले तो प्राइस पॉइंट नहीं देखा. दैट वाज वन ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम्स. कस्टमर नीड को नहीं देखा तो उन्होंने बहुत हाई प्राइस पे कर दिया. वेयरएज जो हमारा हॉटस्टार है, जो अमेज़न प्राइस है, वो काफी चीपर है. करेक्ट. नेक्स्ट इज कि नेटफ्लिक्स पे यू मोस्टली हैव हिंदी और इंग्लिश, यू डू नॉट हैव द रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस जो कि इंडिया में नीड है. देयर आर अ लॉट ऑफ सेगमेंट्स ऑफ पीपल जिसको आप लैंग्वेज से बहुत ज्यादा केटर कर सकते हो. Alright, if somebody is from West Bengal, they would want something in Bengali, right? तो वो चीज Netflix पे बहुत ज्यादा केटर नहीं हो पा रही थी, जो कि Hotstar बहुत अच्छी तरह केटर कर रहा था. And the last, cricket on Hotstar, IPLs etc. सारा Hotstar पे आता है. So these were certain needs of the Indian market जो Netflix नहीं समझ पाया. Language, the love for cricket and price. And जब उन्हें अच्छी तरह success नहीं मिल पाई, then they started understanding कि okay, this is the Indian market. Indian market को समझना इतना easy नहीं है. And that is when they bring in this price drop, and they also are trying to go multilingual. Yes, Prime also provides quite multilingual programs. All right. So this is a video by CNBC, and it is a really good video. You'll have to hear a bit thoda अच्छे से because thoda English is going to be really fast. I'm going to open the CCs as well.
Netflix has become a staple in American households, so it might be hard to believe that the majority of its 137 million subscribers are international. The streaming giant has expanded to over 190 countries, but one country where Netflix has had difficulty breaking through is India. Both Netflix and Amazon Prime Video launched in India in 2016, thanks in part to the drastic drop in mobile data prices. Streaming services, which were once considered a luxury, suddenly became increasingly more appealing to Indians. India is now the second largest internet market in the world, following China. More than 35 different streaming services have launched or expanded their businesses in India in the last 3.5 years. One company that streams cricket and Indian movies and shows, called Hotstar, is leading the race. Research firm Jana estimates Hotstar holds about 70% of the on-demand local streaming services market. Even Amazon Prime Video is bigger than Netflix in India. And India's online video market, valued at over $700 million, is expected to grow to $2.4 billion in value by 2023. But according to analysts, Netflix is not grabbing a huge piece of that pie.
We think that Netflix likely has somewhere between 500,000 and 1 million paid streaming subs in India right now.
Pricing might be one reason Hotstar has had an edge on Netflix. Hotstar offers its premium service for about $3 a month in India, and about 80% of its catalog is free to begin with. Amazon Prime costs about $1.90 a month, including access to Prime Music. Compare that to the cheapest plan that Netflix offers, which is a little over $7 a month. Hotstar also offers streaming rights to the majority of cricket tournaments in India, the country's most popular sport. Earlier this year, 10.3 million viewers tuned into Hotstar to watch the finale of the Indian Premier League tournament. Facebook even offered to pay more than $600 million for the IPL's digital rights, but lost out to Star India, which owns Hotstar. It's worth noting that Netflix has purposefully stayed away from streaming live sports in the United States. It's a strategy that's worked well so far domestically, but it remains to be seen if it will work in India. Then there's the hunger for local content. Here again, Hotstar has an advantage, because it's been able to provide shows in regional languages, which it borrows from channels operated by Star India, its parent company. But Netflix has taken note of the demand.
We'll go from expanding, beyond English into Hindi and then into many more languages, more pricing options, more bundling. All of those things are possible. So we'll take it, a million at a time and figure out how to expand the market as we grow.
Despite India's challenges, part of the reason investors have given Netflix its gaudy valuation is precisely because it has room to expand.
It's been an awesome growth story, and it will continue to be an awesome global growth story as they expand into Asia, India, and some of the international markets.
So our valuation right now is $420 a share. That's progressed upward over time, and we think that given that global runway, it's likely to continue to go in that direction.
It'll take time for Netflix to build up its presence. We have generally seen historically it take about 3 years for Netflix to achieve 10% household broadband penetration.
So you understand, the CEO of Netflix is also stumped by what the Indian market needs, and they are slowly and gradually taking into consideration the needs of the Indian customers. Alright, so that was a very good example of price satisfaction that the customer needs. Let's move on to the next is McDonald's. So it is a very well-known information, I guess, that McDonald's menu is different for different countries. Correct? Everybody knows that. So now we all know that in India we do not eat beef because we preach the cow, we find it holy. So obviously McDonald's has the perfect example of the best known burger in US of McDonald's is hamburger, right? And what is ham? Ham is out of cow, beef patty, right? But you cannot sell that in India. You cannot sell beef in India. So what do they had to do? Correct. So India में आने के लिए they had to change their menu a bit. Why? Because customer needs. Now they did not only start with the aloo patty. Okay. Pork or beef. Okay. Alright. So it not only started with aloo patty, but it started with paneer patty, right? And then it had chicken patty. All the things that Indians eat. Alright? So you can only see, there are countries where you will see no vegetarian option in McDonald's. Purely non-vegetarian menu. But in India, they have given a wide range from a lot of vegetarian options and non-vegetarian options, taking into consideration that 95% of Indians are Hindus and they do not, the cow is holy for them and hence beef is not an option. And out of that also approximately 30% of the Indians are vegetarian. So they needed to have a vegetarian option. So hence our menu, McDonald's menu for India is absolutely customized differently according to the needs of the customers, and they have not only given one vegetarian option, there are a lot of vegetarian options. So that is a choice to the customer. कि जरूरी नहीं है आलू पैटी ही खरीदनी है. You can go for spicy paneer, you can go for veggie, you can go for नया एक आया मखानी, I think मखानी burger, I'm not sure, something. So usme bhi they have given a lot of choice. And if you see, there are very different things that you will be able to see in different menus or from different countries. For example, if you see the next burger, it is a beef burger called as the bulgogi burger, which is very famous in South Korea. It is famous in South Korea, but it cannot be famous in India. Similarly, there is something called poutine that is sold in Canada. Now this poutine is fries, जो हमें नॉर्मल फ्राइज होते हैं हमारे, और फ्राइज के अंदर ये लोग चीजी कर्ड डालते हैं एंड साथ में ग्रेवी डालते हैं, राइट? इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड, इंडिया में हमारे पास कौन से फ्राइज थे? द वन वी पुट इन बैग मसाला डाल के एंड देन वी शेक इट अप एंड देन वी ईट. पेरी पेरी, राइट? Those peri peri fries were only for the Indian market because only Indian market can tackle that much heat. Right? Next, as you see, Hawaii mein you have a breakfast bowl wherein you have spam, you have bacon, you have scrambled egg and you have rice, which you cannot see in the Indian menu. Again, you have Thailand mein you have the samurai burger, and then the next one is called I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correct or not, Nasi Lemak in Malaysia, which is I think it is chicken and cooked rice with milk and a bit of leaves and cucumber, a boiled egg, matlab a lot of things, which again you cannot see in the Indian market. So even McDonald's ने अपने हर country के menu के लिए they have catered into the needs of the customers, and after that they have put in the product. When you see the menu of Japanese McDonald's का जब आप menu देखते हो, तो you will find a lot of things. There is a thing called onigiri. So you will find those onigiris over there. when you go to countries like the island countries, you will see a lot of seafood over there. So, catering to the customer needs according to the country is what McDonald's has done very brilliant. Okay, so this is a very, very amazing short ad which shows how customer needs can be catered. All right, look into it. It is really small and really nice.
दरवाजे पर देकर दस्तक छोटे छोटे कुछ पल आए इनको ना छोड़ना हाथों को खोलना डिब्बे में देखो हंसी मिली डिब्बे में देखो हंसी मिली हाथों ने खुशियाँ चखी हाथों ने खुशियाँ चखी हाथों ने खुशियाँ चखी हाथों ने खुशियाँ चखी
So what did you get by this video? Yes? McDonald's has catered to that segment also, taking into consideration, yes, a physically handicapped person. उनको भी उन्होंने as a customer की need को treat करते हुए, they have put in a box wherein it is easier for them to eat out of the box. Equality towards customer and उस equality को दिखाने के लिए they have catered to that segment of people, understanding की need है एक. This is a need for a physically handicapped person and you need to do something about it. So we did choice, we did price. The next is convenience. So this is one thing that all of you want a lot, and not all of you also, we need a lot. So convenience is the best example would be your food services, online delivery services, Zomato, Swiggy, Blinkit, and others. So if you might have heard about Blinkit, that it promises delivery within 10 to 15 minutes. And it is not even funny because that is what they do. We order a lot from Blinkit and within 10 minutes, all the delivery is there in the house. It is unreal how they are able to manage that. So that is convenience. No longer do I have to go out in the market, buy groceries, buy vegetables. I get it at my doorstep. And jaane mein bhi I have to get ready. Then I go to the market. Then I buy a lot of stuff, and then I, pick it up, and then I come back with the groceries. उसी में मुझे आधा एक घंटा लग जाता है. Why do it when I can do it 10 minutes, right? Grofers became Blinkit, isn't it? It affects its brand image. Yes, Grofers is now Blinkit. It has reformed all its operations as well. All right. Now it has many stores within. मतलब आपको हर थोड़े टाइम देर बाद इसके warehouses दिख जाएंगे Blinkit के, and that is why it is delivering at a very fast pace. All right. affect brand image? No, it will not affect brand image. How will it? See, Grofers was a good brand, but it was only popular in certain areas of Delhi. So, for example, in Gurgaon, Grofers was really good. But at a place where I stay, Grofers is not, the delivery is not so good. But Blinkit has taken over it, and Blinkit is available at places where Grofers was not available. And how? Alright. Moving on to Swiggy. Swiggy may you have seen the ad of, there is no order restriction. Even if you order 1 unit of a product, you will get that 1 unit. Irrespective कि आप इतना पैसा नहीं लगा रहे हो उस order पर, but still you will get that order. And again, the same with Zomato, that Zomato is also providing food, online food, and all of these जितने भी ये platforms हैं, while COVID was going on, इनकी सबसे ज़्यादा बढ़ गई थी demand. And इन लोगों ने भी customer need के according change किया. How they started with, when you order, so the temperature of the delivery boy is 97.6 degrees Celsius. He is not feverish. He will be reaching at the gate at this time. And the box has been sealed. It has, you should check the seal. It should be boxed. There were a lot of things that they did in COVID according to the customer need. The customer was very afraid कि बाहर से मंगवाएंगे, कैसा आ रहा है, क्या नहीं आ रहा है, कौन ला रहा है. So उन सारी चीजों को देखते हुए, उन सारी fears को खत्म करने के लिए, all these services did all of that from there. Yes, contactless delivery. Correct. All right. Again, there is a small ad. This is also a very small ad, and I think सबने देखी होगी ये ad. Let me just make it full screen.
He's looking for a single.
And he sneaks one in there. Even the smallest food orders delivered. Swiggy, water delivery.
Yes, they are tracking live temperature of the delivery boys. Correct. So see, you have to amend, you have to modify, you have to adjust yourself according to the needs of the customers. Alright? And for quality, you can take examples like, say, Starbucks. Or you can take an example of, say, Apple. Alright? They are providing you quality. For the people who are ready to pay a good buck for a good quality, these are the brands they will go for. Because they provide you very good quality but at a higher price. Alright? And this is the last topic for today, that is customer need satisfaction. Customers को group in कर लिया, customers की need को understand कर लिया, अब उन understood needs को हमने satisfy करना है. And how do we satisfy the needs? So there are 4 steps that we generally take. So the first one is identify. Identify the needs of your customers. Understand the needs of your customer, which we did in the previous slide. Next, ये जो आपने needs identify की हैं, you share it with your research teams. You share it with the teams जो उस पे काम कर सकते हैं. The next is create. You create a product that can satisfy the needs of the customers. And then regular feedbacks इकट्ठे करते रहो उनसे कि क्या इस प्रोडक्ट में और कोई चेंज चाहिए, कुछ आप प्राइस कम करना चाहते हैं, क्वालिटी बेटर करना चाहते हैं, तो दैट इज योर कस्टमर नीड सेटिस्फैक्शन प्रोसेस. ठीक है, एग्जांपल्स करते हैं, एग्जांपल से ज्यादा बेटर तरीके से समझ आएगा. A very good example of customer need satisfaction is Kellogg's. सबको पता है Kellogg's क्या फेमसली बेचता है Kellogg's? Yes. Chocos, cornflakes, wheat flakes, muesli, right? When it entered the market in India, yeah, breakfast meal, breakfast cereal, right? When it entered the market in India, so it entered with cornflakes. Okay. So now the thing with cornflakes is, with India actually is, कि इंडिया में लोग कॉर्नफ्लेक्स और ये सारे ब्रेकफास्ट सीरियल गरम दूध के साथ पीते हैं. They warm up the milk, they put the cereal and they eat it. Whereas in the West, it is not like that. वो फ्रिज में से milk carton निकालेंगे, they'll pour the milk over the ठंडा milk over the cereal and they'll eat it. Alright. Now this difference, the Kellogg's did not take into consideration. उन्होंने understand ही नहीं किया कि customer को actually चाहिए क्या, right? So what they started doing, Kellogg's ने पहले तो advertisements करनी start की. कैसी advertisements? Wherein they will show that Kellogg's is very healthy and the Indian food habits are really unhealthy. ये जो खाना खाते हैं तेल से भरा हुआ है, this is unhealthy and Kellogg's is a very healthy substitute for this. Now इससे क्या हुआ, लोगों के sentiments, Indian housewife sentiments were actually hurt. So first, wrongdoing. Second thing, उनको ये नहीं need पता लगी that Indians have cereal with warm milk. And so their formula in the US, which was very successful, जब उन्होंने वो market किया and they put in advertisements that it is a very crispy cereal, it is a very, crunchy cereal. When the people bought it and they had it with hot milk or warm milk, so they could see that there is no, crispiness. Because जैसे ही उन्होंने गर्म दूध में डाला cereal, वो सारा एकदम bland हो गया, एकदम loose हो गया. So the people started thinking that Kellogg's ने ऐसे claims किए that it was not able to fulfill. So लोगों का जो trust था on Kellogg's, which started declining, and hence at the first go, Kellogg's was unsuccessful in India because it did not understand the needs of the customers. So hence एक बार उन्होंने identify किया कि ये Indians तो यार warm milk के साथ cereal लेते हैं. So उन्होंने ये जो information है अपने R&D department के साथ share की that this is what it is. So now they started making a new formula for Kellogg's, which will remain much more crispier for more time period in warm milk. And they started selling it, and then after that it was a success. And after that also they started feedbacks. They started taking feedbacks for this cornflakes, and they started पता होगा ना कितने flavors आ गए थे फिर बाद में almond, banana, strawberry and whatnot. Chocos में भी chocos, moons and stars, and then they started कि health conscious लोग हैं उनके लिए wheat flakes start कर दिए. Then लोग हैं जो they like fruits in their this thing cereal, उनके लिए muesli, fruits and nuts start कर दिया. So they started taking a lot of feedback from the Indian market and they started accommodating all those needs in their different products. So this is a very classic example of how Kellogg's satisfied their customer needs. Can we move forward? Yes, can we? All right. So now let's take the example of another brand, Tuyum. How do you identify Tuyum? Tuyum से कौन याद आता है? Noodles. Virat. Yes. So whenever somebody says Tuyum, the first person that crops up in your mind is Virat Kohli, because Virat Kohli was present in the advertisements through and through, and a very big understanding within us कि he is a youth icon. Virat Kohli is a youth icon, and anything that he endorses, it becomes very close to us. Also because Virat is related to cricket and we all love cricket in India. So whenever we think about Tuyum, we think about Virat Kohli. Now, how many of you have had Tuyum actually? A lot of people might have had. I don't know if they are not replying. How would I get to know? Guys, kindly write it down in the chat. How many people have actually eaten tuyam? कोई भी type का chips है या कोई मखाना है या कुछ भी. Pratham, you are raising your hand. If you want to ask something, you can unmute. A lot of people have had tuyam. हाँ, chips, multigrain chips खा लिया, कुछ भी खा लिया. ठीक है. Okay. So now. Okay. So अब now tuyam ने क्या किया exactly? So we all know हमारे इंडिया में snacks, salted snacks की market already बहुत full है. Can you tell me certain competitors in the salted नमकीन वगैरह वाला salted snacks वाला segment? Competitors बता सकते हो? Lay's, Frito, हल्दीराम, बालाजी, हल्दीराम, कुरकुरे, correct. Bikano, Bikaji, done. Yes. Bingo. Okay. So you हमारी इंडिया में हम लोगों को स्नैक्स खाना बहुत पसंद है, ठीक है, और जितना चटपटा जितना स्पाइसी उतना बेटर, करेक्ट. पंजाबी तड़का इज द नेम ऑफ क्या कहते हैं, नमकीन का नाम है ना पंजाबी तड़का, तो हल्दीराम का ही है ना, हल्दीराम पंजाबी तड़का. या सो अब ऑलरेडी इतनी ज्यादा एक मार्केट है जो कि बहुत ज्यादा, उसमें ऑलरेडी इतने सारे कंपेटिटर्स हैं, बट स्टिल टूयम ने क्या किया, टूयम ने उसी मार्केट में घुसने की कोशिश की. एंड वाज इट सक्सेसफुल? एब्सोल्युटली यस. तो ऐसा क्या था जो टूयम कर पाया जो कि उससे पहले लेज में हेल्दी ऑप्शंस आए थे, दे वर नॉट सक्सेसफुल. देयर वाज समथिंग, हिप्पो चिप्स थे, हिप्पो चिप्स वर बेक्ड चिप्स, but they were not very successful. So what did Tuyam do that made it actually successful in the Indian market? They say it's not fried, they are baked. So baked to hippo bhi the, they highlighted it, but baked to hippo bhi the, baked to word used by Tuyam, multigrain, correct. So see, dahi bhalla flavor chips was different concept, correct. So see what Tuyam did. Sorry, here. So as you can see, यहाँ पे आपको दिख रहा है एक क्वाड्रेंट, ठीक है, जिसमें आपको दो साइड पे दिख रहा है स्पाइसी एंड टेस्टी, ब्लैंड एंड यक, और ऊपर दिख रहा है फ्राइड अनहेल्दी एंड बेक्ड एंड हेल्दी, ठीक है. सो योर मैड एंगल्स, कुरकुरे, लेज, दे आर स्पाइसी, दे आर टेस्टी, बट दे आर फ्राइड एंड दे आर ऑन दी अनहेल्दी साइड, ठीक है. नेक्स्ट यू हैव हेल्दी साइड पे, नीचे देखो, नीचे के क्वाड्रेंट में बेक्ड लेस, सफोला जेस्ट आया था और एक हिप्पो, ठीक है. बेक्ड लेस और सफोला जेस्ट वर एक्चुअली रियली यक, अच्छे नहीं थे बिल्कुल भी, और बेक्ड थे, हेल्दी थे, बट दे डिड नॉट हैव अ गुड फ्लेवर. आई डू नॉट वांट टू ईट समथिंग दैट डज नॉट हैव अ गुड फ्लेवर, राइट. हिप्पो जो था, इट वाज बेक्ड but it was okay in flavor. I was not fond of eating hippo every time. So Tuyam thought that we need to do something wherein हम एक healthy snack लाएं, but we have to take into consideration that it should be tasty up. It should be spicy, it should be tasty, because Indians love spice. So that is why they started with such a formula wherein, can you see this? यहाँ क्या लिखा है? मखाना. टूयम ने इंडियन स्नैक्स को ही वापस से रिवैम्प कर दिया. मखानास, फूल मखाना जो होता है, जिसको हम कहते हैं फॉक्स नट्स, दे आर वेरी, पता है इसकी सब्जी वगैरह भी बनती है इंडियन हाउस होल्ड्स में, एंड हम लोग ज्यादा खाते नहीं थे, राइट. बट जैसे ही ये आया, वी हैड 1-2 gulps of these makhanas and they were amazing. Like I have eaten it and they were terrific, very tasty. I would love to have Tuyam instead of any Lays or Kurkure. Tuyam का मखाना फ्लेवर. Not only that, but they had wheat thins also. Wheat thins क्या होते हैं? पतले पतले खाखरा टाइप समझ लो, ठीक है, पतले पतले वीट के खाखरे, उसके चिप्स. तो वैसे तो खाखरा होता है, कौन ही कितना खाता है, बट ऐसे पैकेजिंग करके दे रहे हो तो यस, हेल्दी भी है. Then you had those multigrain chips, अलग अलग फ्लेवर्स के. As you said, there is dahi bhalla and there is chaat papdi and what not. तो उन्होंने इंडियन स्नैक्स पे फोकस किया और अपने जितने भी ये उन्होंने स्नैक्स निकाले, उनको इंडियनाइज्ड वर्जन में स्पाइसी और हेल्दी करके निकाला. So this was a very different concept that 2M took over. Not only that, तो सबसे पहले तो उन्होंने क्या किया, let's go with the process, identify किया. क्या identify किया कि they realized कि आजकल का जो youth है from the age of 35 years से 15 से 35 साल 40 साल तक के जो middle age group है, they are turning healthy now. वो health conscious बन रहे हैं. They want to go to the gym, they want to go to Pilates, they want to do Zumba, they want to eat healthy, and hence they wanted to cater to this segment only. Because 40 साल के ऊपर वाले पता नहीं कितने लोग चिप्स खाते हैं बहुत खुश होकर, but the youth eats it, the middle aged people eat it. तो सबसे पहले तो उन्होंने कहा health conscious लोग बन रहे हैं, we need to give in a snack that is healthy, so it has to be baked, it cannot be fried. ये जब उन्होंने फोकस दिया, ये जब अपनी नीड उन्होंने दी R&D डिपार्टमेंट को कि यार we need something that is healthy, also we need it close to the Indian traditional snacks, so do something. So what did they create? They created tandoori fox nuts, makhana, desi tadka wheat thins, right? And then the multigrain chips, which are healthier options and also tastier options than any of their predecessors. ठीक है? After that, जब ये market में गया, उसके बाद again they started collecting feedback as to what do the customers want to say. So उनको ये समझ में आया कि पहले जो 2M था ना, वो बड़े पैकेट्स में रिलीज किया गया था with the price range of ₹20 to ₹40 बड़े पैकेट्स में. But they soon realized that उन्हें छोटे पैकेट्स भी बनाने जरूरी हैं, ₹10 वाले, ₹20 वाले, छोटी क्वांटिटी, lesser price, because everybody is not ready to spend ₹40 on a packet of chips. कुछ लोग ₹20 का भी खरीदना चाहेंगे. So then उस feedback से they started developing smaller packaging of 2M. ठीक है? So you see कि एक बार कस्टमर नीड हमें समझ आ जाती है, उस कस्टमर नीड को हमें फुलफिल करना होता है, प्रोडक्ट बनाना होता है, उसको वापस से लोगों तक पहुंचाना होता है, एंड देन उसके बाद व्हाट डू वी हैव टू डू, अगेन वी हैव टू टेक फीडबैक्स सो दैट अगर कोई भी कमी पेशी रह जाती है प्रोडक्ट में, वी नीड टू रेक्टिफाई इट. एंड सेकेंडरी, दही भल्ला, चाट पापड़ी, मल्टीग्रेन आर द नेम्स व्हिच इज न्यूअर टू द यूथ ऑफ टुडे. करेक्ट, these are old. Yes, absolutely correct. कभी भी ऐसे हमने never have I seen makhana in this form. तड़का मखाना, पुदीना वाला मखाना and piri piri. I have not seen it, and when I saw it, I was actually delighted that okay, yeah, something healthy and something good to eat as well. Right? So we are left with 15 minutes. And though we are completed with this session, jitna padhana tha, thank you so much. But one thing is left, that is the evaluation. So what I will be doing is, it is just 6-7 questions in the worksheet. It is kind of a quiz. You are going to get to know what kind of answers you put in. You are going to get the results as soon as you put in the answers. So I'm just going to put the link of that worksheet right over here, and everybody kindly start doing it. Let me tell you, this will have a bearing on your internal exams. As I have already mentioned, 5 marks from each subject will be given to this add-on course. So if a student from BCom or BBA has 5 subjects, तो 5 subjects के 5 number इस add-on course को मिलेंगे. That comes out to be 25 marks of your internals. Right? So all the 150, 140 students that are there, they will get the attendance first, and whoever does the evaluation, they will also contribute to the 5 marks per subject जो आपको मिलेंगे. Alright, let me just put the link. Yes, it is objective type question. It is definitely objective type questions. Another thing, अगर आपने वो Nike वाला वीडियो देखा होगा, तो उसमें एक एंड में क्वेश्चन पूछा गया था. Does anybody remember? Adidas has also started showing itself as a lifestyle brand by roping in Deepika and roping in Ranveer, and showing that it is a designer brand now, it is a lifestyle brand now. What else is Adidas or is Nike doing so that it can capture a bigger market? Link is not received. I know the link is not received because I have not sent it right now. I am answering the questions and then I'll put it in a minute. Can you share all these videos on the groups? I'll try to. मेरे पास है, so what I'll do is I'll send it to you. Sure, I'll do that. So actually it is made on Canva. So even if I download it, I don't know if the videos milengi, but yes, you will definitely get it. Okay, sure. Let me just give you the link.